experiencing creative burnout? If so, you have come to the right place. Not because I have the answers for you, but because I am experiencing that very same thing right now. Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. My name is Eunice Tan, and I am a creative writing major. I'm a junior at university, and currently I am working through yet another bout of creative burnout. If you've been around here, you could probably tell that about 40-50% of my content is me having a burnout. It's just the reality of life, especially when you're someone who takes up like every leadership role that comes your way. I get a little cynical when I feel disoriented, so sorry about that. I am so exhausted right now, and firstly, I'll just tell you the initial plan for this vlog and then what this vlog is actually going to turn out to be. So the initial plan, I had 2 different writing routines during a school day to show how I'm like, you know, balancing school and life and writing an entire novel all at the same time. You get the idea. I was trying to show a routine that would work and show myself successfully smashing that routine. Like, look at me, like I, produced my quota of words today, and then here's like, my other routine where I do this and that, and it was gonna be like so great. Um, it didn't work out. I started a bit of filming today, and I had organized my schedule so that I finished all of my homework before my class at 12:15, and then my class ended at 1:30, and then I was free. And I was like, okay, free time equals writing time, right? What else is free time for? Am I right, fellow writers? Especially if you're trying to take on a big task like a novel, like a huge project like that, while balancing a full-time job, or while balancing, taking care of kids, or while going to university. Like, that is a lot. And I don't think we give enough credit to ourselves how mentally and emotionally and physically taxing this is. Like, I don't think all of us fully realize that writing a book, especially writing a novel, is like literally one of the hardest things that a human being can attempt. If you have written a novel before, you will agree with me. If you haven't, you might not. But go ahead and try, and you will agree with me. I just want to say that given my sort of disoriented state right now and how the original plan for this video like sort of diminished into, I can't even think of the word right now, schmamble, scambla, crumbla. It was a word that is like the result of something crumbling, okay? I'm so tired, I can't even think of word choice. And I'm a creative writing major, and I have won creative writing awards, and this is just not working right now, okay? Especially when it comes to writing. And so yeah, that's why this vlog's it's gonna be a little all over the place, because I've decided, instead of making this video a perfect representation of a perfect routine that works well for like all university students writing a novel or something. No, there's no one routine like that, okay? Give up your hopes of finding the perfect routine. There's no perfect writing routine out there, okay? Therefore, the goal of this video is not for me to find the perfect writing routine for you. It's not me trying to find the perfect writing routine for anyone or everyone. It's me trying to find the most optimal, most healthy and fruitful, most effective writing routine for me and me only. And not just for me as a writer, but also for this novel that I'm working on as a project, because I think that routines and processes can actually change a lot given the type of project that a writer or artist is working on. So I am considering all these very individualized, unique factors in this unique instance I am in. So please, you can take general lessons from this experiment that I'm gonna do, but don't take specific inspiration unless you feel like it'll actually benefit you specifically as well without me in the picture, okay? I just want to put that out there, because I think writing is one of those places where people throw around their, advice that has personally helped them in their writing journey as if it's like universal and it should work for everyone. And then other people try it and they're like, writing every day doesn't work for me because I get too tired and burnt out easily. And then the person who says it is like, no, if you don't write every day, you're a failure. And like all these debates, like that's why so much of writing advice clashes. It's because people are giving advice based on what works for them, but different things work for different people. We need to start realizing that. Let's talk about the experiment. So what I had been doing was finishing my homework in the morning and then dedicating whatever free time I had left to writing, and also my weekends to writing. And I don't think that's gonna work. I will be honest, I have been struggling a lot with feeling exhausted, like perpetual exhaustion Recently, I hold two really big leadership roles on campus, and also some other extracurricular and other responsibilities. And frankly, it's just been a lot. Just yesterday, I decided to drop a class because it was just too much, especially in view of the fact that um, I got the editorial internship with Penguin Random House, which I'm so excited about. Yay! I can't wait. It starts in February, but like, if I had stayed in that class and attempted to do the editorial internship along with everything else and just life in general, I would have died. I would have melted away into the pool of despondency. Yeah, so I'm really proud of myself that I decided to drop that class yesterday. I'm so mentally dead right now. I'm so sorry. But basically, all this exhaustion got me thinking, when you're exhausted, it probably means that you need rest. So what if I tried something new? What if I tried less writing time? I know that sounds so. This is so. This might be a bit controversial on the platforms where people are like, write for an hour every day, or like it doesn't matter how many words you write, but it matters how much time you dedicate to it, because like people say, if you're working a full-time job or studying, like the only way that you're gonna write your novel is dedicating all your free time to writing. But I want to push back against that, because that has not been working for me personally. Like, and I think this is an experience that a lot of you might relate with, whether you're a writer or an artist, or you have some other creative form of expression that you love devoting yourself to. um, I have found that once you take a creative form of expression and make it your primary passion and primary craft, you're more prone to creative burnout when you're engaging in that craft. Because I enjoy my secondary arts of like painting. Like, I actually have a painting up there on the wall. You can't see it. Clearly, and it's okay. But it's like a painting of the Northern Lights. Yeah, I finally remembered their name in my mentally dead stage. But yeah, so I enjoy secondary, arts like painting, uh, other forms of like visual arts, drawing, making YouTube videos, music, singing, reading. That's a big one. Like, I enjoy these things, and they don't suck the life out of me like writing does sometimes. Like, I don't feel like my creative well is getting drained from like drawing something. And the reason why is because I only do those things once in a while. And when I do them, I intentionally do them as leisure. Whereas writing, and like, I don't think this is exactly necessarily a bad development, but like, writing is my work, because I have devoted so much of my soul, so much of my passion, so much of my time and energy and mental capacity all to writing, so much to it, because I love it so much and I believe so much in writing in general and in my writing. Um, but even though those are all like amazing, fantastic things that make living so much more beautiful, it's also really hard and taxing, because it makes me pressurize myself more to deliver in my writing. To because a writer has become a defining part of my identity. It's like, I need to meet that bar. And I am still fueled by my passion. I'm not fueled by like recognition or status or anything like that, but it's because I'm fueled by my passion that it's like so important to me to do well in it. But I think I've sort of like, you know because of that, I spend so much time on writing, and then that makes me exhausted of it, because as human beings, if we spend an extraordinary amount of time on something and it starts to exhaust us, like, it's going to take us a while to get back to the place where we'll start to find joy in it again and not feel exhausted. And I still find so much joy in the written word, but somehow when I sit down and write, right now at least, I feel so extraordinarily tired, more tired than I feel when I'm not writing. So I really want to change that, because writing is still an essential part of me. And I want to, and I think that life is a beautiful paradox, in that we think that if we want to achieve a goal, we need to like work every single free second that we have towards it. But I don't think that's how life works. I think that in order to be a truly, and I use the word truly with like the meaning of healthily and like with long-term effects, true, if you are to be a truly productive person, you would also be a truly resting person. You would be skilled at the art of resting. And yes, rest is an art. It's the art of letting loose. It's the art of cradling the world softly and gently in your fingers, not gripping, just having a general plan and structures are great, but not holding yourself to like every single detail of perfection and like beating yourself up for that, or like keeping yourself in check. Like there's always this delicate balance in life, plans and spontaneity, balancing that, productivity and rest, balancing that. And I think the good, productive person is exceedingly great at rest. So that's going to become my focus. I think it's come to the point where it needs to become my focus in order for me to get this novel done by the end of this spring semester, because that is my goal. This is part of a course actually which I signed myself up for. It's an independent study course, but I have like a mentor, a faculty advisor who serves as my mentor in the course, and she helps keep me accountable. I need to finish this novel by the end of the semester, but how I reach that goal is entirely up to me. So here's the experiment. I am going to try to do this during all of my free time on my weekdays. Like if it's a weekday and I have like, whatever amount of free time, that free time is not going to become writing time. That free time is going to become free time. it's going to be leisure time. I'm going to read. Currently I'm reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt, so I'll read that. Or I could paint, or I could draw, or I could watch something, fold my clothes, clean my room. Like I find that very therapeutic. I'm actually gonna do some of these stuff right now after I end this video. Like do all those leisurely stuff. Free time equals leisurely time on weekdays. So that's principle number one. Secondly, so on weekends will be my writing days. So Saturday, all day, writing day. Sunday, after church in the morning, writing day. That's my idea for the experiment. And I'm not saying this is going to be my routine in the future indefinitely. I'm saying that this is an experiment that I'm going to try for the rest of this week. So today is Tuesday, January 24th. So I will start this experiment tomorrow. Tomorrow I am going to rest during all my free time. The day after, on Thursday, rest during all my free time. Friday, rest during all my free time. And then only start writing on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, let's see how this works. Let's go. Good morning. It is the next day, and I'm already feeling like the strong desire to write. And it's Wednesday, and I know that I said for the experiment I would try to rest on like during my free time on the weekdays, but I keep on thinking about it. I keep on thinking about writing, and well, firstly, I think that's a really good sign because it shows that like I'm not totally tired of writing. Maybe what was going on yesterday is that I was just really tired in that moment, and then I took a lot of rest yesterday evening, and maybe today I'm just like ready to get into writing again. And if this desire to write persists, I don't want to like hold myself back from it because getting into the mood for writing is a very rare gift. So I don't want to just like deprive myself of that gift, if I like really want to write, once I'm done with like my my classes this morning. And then I have to run a little errand for a leadership role. But after that, I get the urge that I'm gonna have a strong desire to write. And I think that I don't know about the findings for the rest of the experiment. I'm calling this an experiment, meaning that I'm just gonna like try different ways and find out what works. Like I don't necessarily have to commit to what I came up with yesterday if it doesn't work. So I'm just gonna follow like the inner impulse to write, because I personally am a very driven writer. So I am more likely to force myself to write when I don't want to write. But when I feel the desire to write, normally, I mean always, it means I should write. So I'm just gonna see if I have that feeling, that like joy fueled desire to write again later today when I'm done with my stuff. And if I do, I will write. And normally when I follow this intuition inside of me, I will get tired at one point, and my flaw is like still pushing through even though I'm tired. So I'm gonna try not to push through this time once I get tired. So let's see how it goes. I think something that is worth noting is that I have not started my editorial internship yet. So once I do start it in February, all of my afternoons will be taken up because I have to work 14 hours a week. So probably when that happens, the like resting during all my free time on weekdays type of schedule would work better. But I feel like now, because I don't have the internship yet, at least I have a bit more of time where I will feel that desire for writing. Whereas with the internship, I might feel like really tired more and more spent um, with my time basically. So yeah.
Hi! Wednesday night Eunice here with a little update. Firstly, yes, I did write today, and I did it for the right reason, because I really wanted to, and I had a lot of fun writing. I finished chapter 22 today. I wrote about 1,800 words, which I don't care if you think that is a lot or too little, because to me that was the perfect amount to write today, and it was, yeah, it was awesome. I don't think we should measure good writing days with the word count, but we should measure it with how fulfilled it makes us feel, and also with that sense of accomplishment that we indulged in that love for writing while also pushing ourselves and learning something in the process of writing of that day. So yeah, that's my writing update, which I'm really happy about. um, and I also wanted to share something that makes me feel really happy and excited. Firstly, before that, I just want to say for the rest of this video, I think what works best. So this experiment is morphing, over time because I'm learning by experimentation. That's why it's called an experiment. Um, I think I'm learning slowly but surely, that following my intuition is the number one principle for my writing process, because I'm naturally very internally driven to write. I'm very fueled to do so because it is my passion. So I don't struggle with eventually, having that motivation kick in and getting the urge to write. So basically, what I've determined to do for the rest of this experiment and maybe going forward is whenever I get that desire, that strong, joy fueled desire to write, um, then I'll write. And whenever I get tired, I will stop. That's what I did today, and it worked awesome. If I don't feel like writing tomorrow, then I won't. And I know this might not work for everyone, because some of us, especially in the beginning stage, you might have to like make yourself, sit in front of the page in order for you to even start on the journey of writing. But for me, I have um, advanced quite a bit, that I have um, had, I've gotten into the natural flow of things, and I fall in love with writing, so that I really don't want to get out of the flow of things because I love it too much. I love it too much to stop at all. Like, that is not even an option to me. The only thing I've been struggling with is getting exhausted, because my main flaw is pushing through even though I actually feel too exhausted to write for that day. And by pushing myself too much in one day and expecting myself to still show up the next day, I'm basically draining my creative well and exploiting myself of any chance for me to have a healthy writing, like, quote unquote, routine or process. Probably the best writing routine for me is not a routine. Like, my boyfriend pointed this out to me earlier today. I thought it was pretty, like, straightforward, but inspiring and profound. He said that I've been treating writing like working out, or like doing something more predictable, like science. Like, me expecting myself to show up every day and stuff. I was expecting writing something creative to work according to laws of science. Like, when you perform a scientific experiment, the same result is going to happen again and again if you follow the same steps. If you do a workout, if you follow the same steps, the same, output should happen. And but that does not apply for writing, because you can still show up at the desk, drink the same coffee, do the same little like journaling exercise or whatever, but you're not guaranteed to get the same result. One day you might have an amazing writing day and write like 3,000 words or something in one sitting, and then another day you did the exact same steps and you wrote only like 500 words. So that's the unpredictability of writing, of anything creative. And even though consistency is important, consistency doesn't equal routine. You know what I mean? Like, there are many ways um, to keep up in your skill of writing. So when you pointed that out to me, I was like, wow, I just need to treat writing like how it is supposed to be treated. Treat something creative and unpredictable with something creative and unpredictable, aka my intuition. So I think that was a bit of an aha moment for me, because I love structure, I love planning, but when I actually surrender that when it comes to my writing, I'm so much happier and things just work out much better. And this is just for myself. It might not work for you, but maybe it will. It's up to you. Yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting, because we always think like, what productivity process works for me as a person, throughout my life, what routine works for me. And it's like, just because you're one person doesn't mean you need to stick to one type of routine for everything that you do. Like, for work or homework, I'm such a stickler to my schedule. I get things done as quick as I can, and I can always do it because homework is normally more straightforward. Work is normally more straightforward, generally speaking. It depends on the assignment, but like, even like an academic essay, come up with the thesis, do this, do that. Eventually, it works itself out at least more easily than just coming to a blank page and trying to come up with creating something yourself. So I can be like really a stickler to my routine for my homework, for my work, my other responsibilities, leadership roles. But when it comes to my writing, I need to follow my intuition. So that's my insight so far in this journey. Only one day into the experiment. We'll see if this still holds true. And my suspicion is that it will. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. I wanted to tell you about the thing that made me so happy and excited tonight. So, um, recently I got the editorial internship with Penguin Random House, and um, so basically, I was telling all my friends about it, and everyone was so excited for me. And one of the friends that I told, like, she totally, I love her so much, and she's an amazing person, and she's like one of my absolute best friends. When I told her, she just, made the remark, like after congratulating me, of course, and everything, and she was really happy for me. She made the remark. She was like, I knew you would get it. Also, like the statistics are in your favor because, you're from a minority group, like you're a person of color, and so, like it, you know, like of course you get it. Um, and this friend had said a statement like that before in the past when I had talked about like, wanting to apply for MFA in creative writing programs, and she was like, well, you know, I think it could be pretty likely for you to get in because you're a person of color and stuff like that, and like I know that she doesn't mean that in a bad way at all. I mean, she herself is a person of color. Um, and she's one of the most loving people I know. So I know she definitely didn't mean it that way, but like it rubbed me a bit in the wrong way, Like it made me feel like, is it not because I'm a good writer? Is it not because I'm a good editor? And I know that's not true because I know I'm great at both of those things and I am qualified for the roles that I've gotten in my life. I worked hard for them. And I just like it makes me frustrated when people toss that statement around and try to write off the efforts of people of color just because of this like diversity effort, which is sort of like a that's not what it's trying to do. But I know that a lot of things get messed up and misconstrued and maybe misapplied or whatever. But anyways, that wasn't the point. But what the exciting thing I wanted to share is that this like negative moment, on my friend saying this to me popped up again in my mind just now while I was like getting ready for the night, and it made me feel awful and really anxious. I was really struggling, and I was like, man, what should I do? Should I talk to her about this? No, I don't want to like dig up something and make things awkward. I know she didn't mean it that way. But then suddenly I had this revelation. I was like, wait, I know the truth. I know that I'm a very capable writer and a very capable editor, and I know that the color of my skin wasn't the reason why they picked me. So why am I worrying over this? Like, yeah, what she said is true. Technically, they do factor that in, and they are trying to have an like push, have an effort toward diversity. Yeah, that's true, but so what? That doesn't mean that it disqualifies like how amazing it was that I got to work with them and get the internship. Like, it doesn't disqualify what a great editor I am because I know that I have worked hard for this and I have the skills. So why am I feeling awful about this? I just sort of had that revelation and I started literally smiling to myself and being like, yeah, like wow, I actually feel completely fine about this now. And I'm so happy and excited about that because this is a really hard thing for me. Like generally when it comes to anxiety, um or like doubting myself, like oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for those things. Like negativity just pulls me in. Like someone could say a ton of good things to me, compliment me like left, right, center, and then just drop one little negative hint that wasn't even like fully negative, and my whole mind and heart will hook onto that and make that my identity, and it's awful. Like it's just something that I've struggled with a lot, but I have been getting much better recently. My boyfriend and my friends and my family have told me that they've, seen my improvement a lot and seen me growing stronger. Um, but like that little switch in my mind, it's never switched that quick. I've never had a revelation like that quick. So I was really proud of myself tonight. And I just wanted to share that because I want to encourage you. Sometimes people make offhand remarks that they don't mean it that way at all, but it can get to us because we're human. And yeah, so that's totally understandable. But like I just wanted to share it's possible to not let that affect you too much. You can choose to let it go and pretty quickly, actually. So, yeah, just wanted to share that. Anyways, I'm gonna retire to bed tonight, and just know that I'm always rooting for you. crazy. So normally the Starbucks branch that we go to right here is really busy, brimming over with people on Saturdays. But then I told my boyfriend on the way here, I said, I have intuition. Like, my intuition tells me, I have an instinct that there is going to be no, like, it's not going to be brimming over with people today. I feel like there's hardly going to be anyone, and I think we're going to get our big table. And because there's only one big table in this branch of Starbucks, and it's always taken. But I told him, I just got a special feeling today, we're gonna get it, and it's gonna be hardly that many people here. Guess what? We started walking towards here, looked through the windows, only like 2 people getting orders to go, and no one was sitting down. It was just us. Isn't that crazy? And guess what? We got our big table. Oh, this is crazy. Like, I just had this really strong sense that everyone was really down and just really sleepy today and exhausted, and I think that I was right. Like, I was right. I have just been feeling this overwhelming feeling of exhaustion and dread almost, and I'm wondering if it's seasonal because of winter, and I'm wondering if like other people are feeling this too. But I'm just happy we got our big table, and I am ready to start on some novel writing. So, let's go. Hello, and here's an update on my progress. So yesterday I finished writing chapter 23, wrote about like almost 2,000 words. It was a good session. My goal for this week was to write about 6,000 words in total. So I have written about 5,000 ish. So today is Sunday. I just got back from church, and I later today I will be working towards meeting that goal. But before that, I have just a few things to get sorted through. Right now, I am typing out a book that a manuscript that I'm working on as an editor. My commitment is to type for about 30 minutes to 1 hour every week, so I'm going to do that now. And then we're going to reset my homework plan for next week by coming up with like, you know, what homework I'm going to do on which day for next week. And then I'm going to select some of my writings to submit to a creative writing competition here on campus. And once I'm done with those things, then I will continue writing my novel. So let's go. A cookie from the boyfriend. Hello, and welcome to the wrap up of this week's writing experiment. It is Sunday night, and I am coming out of this writing experiment week, and I must say I've learned so much from this, and I feel a lot more confident when it comes to tackling my writing process slash routine that isn't really a routine in the future. So, basically, I learned that what works is not setting any rules, and rather the only rule that I set is following my intuition. So, firstly, in order to
know that you can trust your intuition, you need to be in a place where you are really motivated to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Like it actually really matters that much to you, and you have that internal drive, and you have a certain established practice of discipline and routine already ingrained in your life. So I personally already do, and this novel, it's literally my life dream. It's what I have always wanted to do. Not just this novel specifically, but a vocation of being a novelist, of being a writer. So I've already put this in the center um, of my like life goals right now in this season. So because of that, I know that I have the natural urge to work on my novel whenever I have free time. I realized in this video that what I needed to train myself in wasn't making myself write more, but making myself recognize when to stop writing, when to rest from writing, when to take a writing fast. Did you know that taking a writing fast is essential to be a productive, healthy writer? Yes, in order to be a good writer, you need to know when to stop writing. So that I think is the primary lesson that I took away from this week. I had many moments of rest this week, many moments of well-deserved leisure here and there. I spent time with friends, spent time with my boyfriend, spent time alone reading, and I tried to pepper some footage of that in this vlog to show you at least a bit more of a realistic view. Like just because this is a writing experiment vlog doesn't mean that it's filming me just writing, because just as much as I'm a writer, like I'm a liver. Like, oh, that sounds really wrong, but what I meant was like someone who lives. Like my life that was so funny. My life is something that I'm always going to live, and so writing is never going to be my whole life. Writing is a big part of my life, but a lot of the other things happen in my life too, and they're all beautiful and essential, especially rest and fun. So I made a lot of time for that this week. And just naturally, I was like, oh man, I really feel like writing now, so I'm gonna write. And that's what I did. And I wrote about 6,000 words this week. And I'm really proud of that because I calculated, and actually I only need to write about 2,000, 3,000 words a week to meet my goal of like finishing the novel by close by in about like 12 weeks time from now, towards the end of the semester. But so I'm really proud of my progress. Yeah. The only guideline that I notice myself naturally falling into, it's not a hard fast rule I put on myself, but it's something I naturally fall into that helps me the best. Those are the best guidelines. The only guideline is for me is that I work on my homework in the morning, and then in the afternoon I have fun in my writing. That's literally it. So yeah, take all this with a grain of salt. Maybe try a writing experiment week yourself. Try to train your intuition. Get to a point where you can sort of like feel out for yourself what works for you. That'll be my number one recommendation. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. I hope this yields some insights for you in your own writing journey, and I can't wait to bring more of this content to you. See you next time. Whatever writing that you're working on, I wish you all the best, and I am cheering for you. I am. And yeah, if you would like to click the subscribe button and join this wonderful little community, I would be so happy. And always remember, whether it comes to writing or life or relationships, anything, focus on the little things to make the big change. You got this. Sending you love, Miss Little.